Welcome back to AG Chelsea TV. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Chelsea Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. £40 million player suggests he'd really consider joining Chelsea if the Blues bid for him. Ivan Toney has admitted that he would be silly not to consider joining a club like Chelsea if the opportunity were to arise. The England international made the comments when speaking on the Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett. So, what did Ivan Toney say about potentially joining Chelsea in future? Let's take a look. Well, as you have surely heard, the Brentford number 17 is suspended until January after being found guilty of breaching betting rules. Despite that, Chelsea are still receiving weekly updates on Toney as the Blues consider making a move for his signature in the January transfer window, according to Simon Phillips. Miguel Delaney, writing in his Reading the Game column, added that Chelsea are one of the Brentford talisman's biggest admirers, although the Bees want at least £40 million for their frontman. If an offer close to that sum was submitted by Chelsea, it sounds as if Toney would genuinely consider a move to Stamford Bridge. When asked if he would join Chelsea or Manchester United, the 27-year-old said, "From a young age, I don't let this all affect me, but I think everybody wants to play at the top of the tree. Not that Brentford aren't there, but I feel like playing for a big club and fighting for trophies and these kind of things, everyone wants to do, if the chance was to come along. I think I would be silly not to look more into it. The manager knows I want to be playing at the highest level possible. Whenever that time comes, so be it." MOISES CAICEDO breaks silence after nightmare Chelsea debut. MOISES CAICEDO has broken his silence on social media after a miserable start to life at Chelsea. The 21-year-old midfielder replaced Ben Chilwell in the second half of the Blues' clash against West Ham to make his debut, but it didn't quite go to plan. With half an hour on the clock, Caicedo was brought on to help Chelsea find an equaliser. After a few heavy touches and misplaced passes, the Ecuador international hastily brought down Emerson Palmieri inside the West Londoners' box, conceding a penalty in the dying embers of the tie. Now, on Instagram, Caicedo has apologized for his role in Chelsea's defeat and promised to right his wrongs. He wrote, "It wasn't the debut that I expected, but I'm happy to get my first minutes with this big club. We'll keep working hard to put this team where it deserves. Thanks to the fans who are supporting me." Speaking on Sky Sports, Jamie Redknapp defended Caicedo and reminded fans that the Ecuadorian has been starved of game time this summer. The former Liverpool midfielder said, "Caicedo hasn't had any minutes for 60 days and you can see that rustiness. Only the manager knows whether he was ready and he isn't quite there yet. He will get better, as it can only get better after giving a penalty on your debut." Fabrizio Romano confirms exciting Chelsea transfer rumour. Fabrizio Romano reported through his social media that Chelsea are targeting French youngster Bradley Barcola. After the deal for Michael Olise fell through at the last moment, the Blues have the Lyon winger on their radar as a potential alternative. However, Paris Saint-Germain are already pursuing the talented winger. The London club are monitoring the situation of Lyon starlet Barcola to add more firepower to their attack. The Frenchman could potentially be an alternative to Olise after the deal for him collapsed. Barcola has emerged as the latest name in the West London club's shortlist. However, they will face stiff competition from PSG if they decide to get into a race for the player. Reportedly, the French giants are favourites to bring the player to Paris. Chelsea are informed about the situation around the player, and it is to be seen if they get into a bidding war with the Parisians for the 20-year-old. The Transfer Market Insider said in his YouTube video, "Lot of links to Bradley Barcola. It is true that Chelsea are pursuing Barcola. He is one of many players they are following. He is one of the best talents in his position in the world, and Chelsea are always monitoring these kinds of player. What I am told, at the moment PSG remains the club in advanced talks on the player's side." The Lyon-born winger burst onto the scene in the 2021-22 season and has quickly become an important part of the French club's setup. His main position on the pitch is out wide, either as a right winger or a left winger. However, he is capable of deputizing in other areas as well. The winger possesses a tall, lanky frame which helps him cover a lot of ground using his long strides. He is blessed with great acceleration which, combined with his natural dribbling ability, makes him a lethal threat in wide areas and on counter-attacks. Romano has described him as one of the best talents in his position in the world. Chelsea have now agreed personal terms with a frightening Arsenal player. Chelsea are looking to keep on adding young players to their squad, and their quest to do so has now taken them to Arsenal. The Blues have spent a fortune once again this summer in adding young and exciting talent to the ranks for Mauricio Pochettino to work with, and now, it looks like they're trying to do another piece of business by tempting Arsenal forward Folarin Balogun to the club. According to Football Transfers, Chelsea have already agreed persona terms with Balogun as they look to add a new striker to the squad. Foot claims that a deal has been struck over personal terms with Balogun, although there is some distance between a fee being agreed between the two clubs as it stands. Indeed, it's claimed that Monaco are the team looking most likely to land Balogun now. Arsenal want to bring in around £50 million for the young striker, after his superb season in League One last term. Lauded as a player with a frightening potential, Balogun doesn't quite seem to have convinced Mikel Arteta of his talent, meaning a move is now likely. While Balogun wants to go and play football, it's questionable whether a move to Chelsea is where he'd get that football. They have signed Nicolas Jackson this summer, and he's looked okay in the opening few games. Balogun would have a job on his hands dislodging him in the number 9 position, just as he having trouble in doing the same at Arsenal with Jesus and Nketiah. Chelsea are stockpiling a host of young players and should have a bright future, but whether or not Balogun is the right move is questionable at best. On paper, it looks like there might be better options for Balogun right now. 22-year-old Chelsea player offered to club has no future at Blues. Pochettino doesn't want him, with Chelsea youngster Callum Hudson-Odoi not getting any minutes on the pitch this season. It now seems he's been offered to a new club. According to Turkish outlet Takvim, the 22-year-old was suggested to Fenerbahce. The website writes that Hudson-Odoi has no future at Chelsea, as he's not wanted in Mauricio Pochettino's squad, with the manager not considering him. Now, even though he's said to be on Fenerbahce's table, that doesn't mean the Turkish side would have an easy job to sign him. Takvim writes that the likes of Fulham, Nottingham Forest, and Lazio have also shown interest in Hudson-Odoi as well. Fenerbahce are still to make a decision on whether or not to enter this pursuit, as all this competition should certainly make him a little more expensive. The winger's contract with Chelsea runs until 2024, and he's currently valued by Transfermarkt at €15 million. Takvim's story doesn't say how much the Blues demand for his departure. They can't set a big price, though, as the possibility of losing him for free at the end of his deal seems real if they make their requests too big. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.